Yes, good people. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another daily roundup on Chelsea Perspective. Sorry about the mix-up of the background. There you go. We have the correct one now. Again, it's quite interesting topic. We're here to talk about what are or what are not Graham Potter's fault. But to me, I think all again, not all, but quite a lot of the stuff being talked about are his fault indeed. Again, I was one of his biggest supporters. I was elated when it was announced that he was going to be the one to take over from Thomas Tuchel because I liked the way his Brighton team played. But up close, I'm starting to see things I didn't see when he was Brighton's coach. Again, sorry. Again, Rahel, I'm sure will come back to, again on camera. Maybe he's taking care of something there. But that's by the way, I'm going to start by going through the chat. We don't have too much there. But every time I see the first person comment, what comes to mind is my brother, Liam Lane. Liam Lane, if you're watching, I hope you're coping with the situation, and I will continue to pray for you until, again, I know you're better. Hey, there you go. We have Helgi on camera, but there you go. DJ Saab says, big up, Coachella. I love the tune, man. Again, everybody loves it, and I'm going to find a way to send it to you. We'll definitely use these as a sample for my music and a sampling. I think it's for free, absolutely free. There again, I've read. I think the license there are no restrictions. Big up to my brother Bobby Fairview. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate your presence. Big up again, Helgi. This is DJ saying hello to you. I hope you're doing well. So let's get into it and take care of things immediately. I'm not going to waste our time too much here. We have some news that I want us to talk about. And let's start with this one here, which reports that, again, breaking news, Chelsea Thiago Silva could miss the Borussia Dortmund match. That is, again, a concerning to me. I don't know about you, Helgi. If he misses that match, we're in trouble because he's capable of influencing games from the defensive area, even without saying too much. It all comes down to the way he plays. So I'm concerned if he's not going to play against Borussia Dortmund, it's as good as saying that we're out of the Champions League. I don't know. And plus, we don't have Benoit Sheila, you could say, has all his qualities and also cool-headed in terms of his, again, whenever he's on the ball, doesn't panic. He would have made a difference as it been on the list. But then again, I'm not going to regret anything. We've had that argument, and we did come to the conclusion that whoever that's left out, there will always be an argument. There will always be argument as to why that person should have been a part of the list. But your thoughts on this news? Are you concerned, or you think we'll be good even without him?
No, I am concerned, of course, because when we aren't in the right level without him, it's expected to say that. Um, we sorry we when we aren't in the right level with him, it's expected. It's common sense to think that we won't be in the right level without him either. So it just worsens the situations at least in theory even more. And as you mentioned, Badiashil's absence is a problem that gets associated with Thiago's potential absence in the game. So
Mm.
we'll have maybe to play with Koulibaly and Fofana like we did yesterday for the majority of the match. But yeah, it is an important miss, and let's see, because it's not confirmed. Maybe it's likely that we will miss the Leeds game, but for this isn't confirmed. But anyway, it's of course it just worsens our current problems.
Yeah, but you could say we looked shaky in his absence. The moment I think we looked worse the moment the manager had to take him off. I'm concerned really, but that's by the way. Let's see what happens again. I wasn't optimistic about the game, but now that is again, we're not sure that he's going to play. I'm even more concerned if that makes sense. Evening, Kachila, our boys under 21 have made it by killing the young Arsenal 1-0. 1-0 is that what you're calling killing Button Lambeka? It's a win, but again, it's something to look at again and at least smile. Yep, let's see again. If you're in the chat, let us know whether you're concerned again about the news with regards to the news that Thiago Silva could miss the Borussia Dortmund game. As for me, I'm really, really concerned, really. But I want to get your thoughts because it's not just about us here on the panel. Your do matter. Let's see what else we have here. Again, bless up says my bro. Again, just saying hello to DJ Sub. So let's look at this particular topic here. I can always go back to the other one. This one here, it's again, it says there is a growing expectations around the club that the next two games could prove to be a defining period for Graham Potter. I don't know about you. Again, do you think the same? I mean, what we're seeing out there, uh, the reports are conflicting. Some say
Yeah.
they're willing to give him until the end of the season. They're not looking to fire him. They'll do whatever they can to see him turn things around. And some are saying this one here, right here, is saying that there's a growing expectation that the next two games. But it says around the club. It's not mentioning specifically who and who are those. Again, that expect that to be the case. But your thoughts, Helgi?
Well, you know my stance, and I think people who have watched the previous episodes actually know my stance that if it was in my hands, he would have been sacked, I think, immediately after the game against Southampton. So every minute and every game that he has from now and and in the other matches and also till the end of the season, they are saying it's just a waste
Hmm.
of time, in my opinion, because the situation is too radical, and I am surprised to even experience it as a neutral, let alone as a fan, to have a club spending 600 million pounds and tolerating a form of which has resulted in 2 wins out of 16. And on top of all, we see absolutely no improvement in terms of performance. So it's not just we being unlucky or facing difficult teams. It's just a case of showing no signs of improvement and of teams having cohesion with each other. So if it was in my hands, I would have made the change already. But the thing is that under these circumstances, it's better than nothing. When you say that he has 2 games to show. Personally, I don't really get the logic in terms of what we can save this season, because if they are giving him 2 more games, it means that the Dortmund game is included, and considering how bad we have been, um, logic and a realistic view of it gives you the impression that we may easily go out, especially knowing that Thiago can also miss the game. So I don't know why should we wait till then when we have something to play for. Though realistically speaking, maybe we won't have a great round, but still we would have something to hope to make a change for a refreshment, rather than being in a position of trying to go out of all competitions and risk getting dragged into an infamous relegation battle. I'm still not in the position to talk about that, because it's shameful even thinking, considering the size of the club and the level of expenditure. But still, I think that the form we have been showing since Potter's appointment, gives me no legit reason why we should stick with him even for these 2 games. But still, hopefully that's the case at last. That if there is nothing in these 2 games, well, then we pull the trigger. So um, yeah, the reports seem conflicting, but Fabrizio Romano said something that aligns a lot with the report that you showed with
Here's
methodology.
what we're gonna here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do, Helgi. Let's again. There are some updates, news updates. I want us to look on before
Yeah,
because
yeah, but
the main
they are
topic,
similar. That's what I'm saying, because
main topic.
only
With what you're saying, I was gonna say let's go through. So let's go dates, and we'll come back and talk about. I want us to talk about. Yeah, go ahead if you were talking.
no. The last thing I'm saying that I saw, because you mentioned the contradiction between the reports, and I was just saying that Fabrizio Romano confirmed tonight that they are still backing him, but the situation is too dynamic and it may change if the results don't come. And it correlates a lot with the report that Matt Law presented earlier the day, and also those at the Times are saying something similar. So for me, it would be like completely nonsensical if you keep backing him beyond those two games, because we aren't at the point of saying that we have nothing to play for. This season is a write-off, because it doesn't correlate with the level of the club and the culture of the club, and I fear that it may cause collateral damage in terms of the adaptation of the young players, Felix stance, in terms of staying or coming back from where he came. So it's more complex and less straightforward than people think. So let's see. But for me, the fans have been patient enough, and I don't see any room for improvement. But we have to take the back seat and see how it unfolds.
Yeah, again, just give me 1 second. I'm looking from for that report from Fabrizio Romano. If I can't find it, maybe if you can find it and share it with me, I'll open it. I can't find it. I think I saw it,
Uh,
but it didn't occur
and
to me that I need to save it somewhere. Let's see what we're gonna do. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat for us to hear what the people are saying there. We have again, please, we need another coach. Again, a lot of people think so, but it is not up to us. It is up to all to the owners to look at the situation and say, it hasn't really worked out. Maybe we need to move on from him. But it just seems as if they're finding it difficult to do so. And I have the link to the panel in the chat. The rule is just you have to be on camera if you want to again join the conversation, and it has to be two panelists at the time. Again, if somebody indicate they want to come in, then I'll know the timing of when to let Helgi go. But right now, he's the sole again individual who wants to be part of it. Potter out says again the Chelsea boy 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Popcorn season, indeed. That's what it is. We see them eat the popcorn and watch things as they unfold. Very concerning, really. Again, Walter or Moregbe, evening, bro. Potter needs to be sacked, because I think the players like him as a person, but don't respect him as a coach. Again, that comment does make a lot of sense. Again, in a way that the truth is this. Again, being a nice person is a different thing altogether. Being a manager, or let me say a tactician to be specific, because I think he's a good coach, but what I don't think he is a good tactician. So being a good individual is a good thing altogether. From being a good tactician, like I said before, this year it says again, I never wanted Potter. To be honest, I wanted either Mourinho back or Pochettino, but now I want Hansi Flick. Okay, you keep changing your mind, but big up to you. Again, Wally Waldo, Walter Morepe, F2, JR, and the Chelsea boy 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you guys are all doing well. Again, Wally Waldo, I haven't seen you in a while. Please do let me know you're good. And here's the link again to the panel. It's pinned at the very top. If you want to join the conversation, you indicate, then I will make space and accommodate you. It's two panelists at the same time. That is the design of the daily roundup show. For me, the Dortmund game is our hope of winning a trophy and getting back into the Champions League. However, it's important we stay in the Premier League again for safety. Yep, again, and be safe. I cannot believe our club is where it is today. 10 points of relegation battle and 10 points of top four battle. And if you're watching, let us know if you're concerned that Thiago Silva is going to could miss the Borussia Dortmund game, because to me that is a huge news, if that makes sense. The owners are saying that they will need again Mourinho back to Chelsea coaching. I didn't hear anything like that. Where's your source? I really want to know. But I don't think the Mourinho is the right man for that project. Indeed, sack Potter or get relegated. Francis Winters, how are you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for finding the time to join the show. And Logan, nice to see you once more. I think this is your you were here again during the premiere of the evening show called the Daily Roundup Show. It says after the Southampton match, it's all the fault of the owners. Potter could not sack himself. That's another interesting way to put it, because we have to start again at one point. We'll have to be honest and start looking beyond Graham Potter, if that makes sense. And quickly, I want to say, what is the daily roundup show? The daily roundup show is a show where we take our time, look at everything again that was talked about, everything that was in the news regarding Chelsea Football Club, dump them into a single bucket. Again, make them as precise as possible, and present it to you, and then you give us your opinion. Yep, again, that's an interesting way to put it. Like I said, again, get Zidane. I really don't trust anything Zidane, because his first job as a manager, he had again the best players in the world. That club, then
he doesn't speak English, so this
and
rules
he
him
doesn't
out.
speak in English, so that compounds again, the chances of him doing well as a Chelsea manager. So the team he had then, honestly, he could start again, select players, and then take a nap during games, and they will still win games. If that
Yeah.
makes sense to you. Again, now, but Mourinho wouldn't take this nonsense. I think he would take it. It's about money. Just pay him well. He would take it from the again. Okay, you mean from the players? He wouldn't take it from the players. Yep. And Hansi Flick again will drop you if you have again a bad game, or if you're not playing well overall. I can leave our team, please again, Potter out. I think you're saying that the players are the fault. What is Boehly doing? Can he see what is happening? I think he see. I sincerely do believe he sees what's going on. To me, the problem is this. What I think the problem is the fact that it's going to be an expensive decision to fire him, because we're hearing firing Graham Potter means that have to spend again nearly 18 million pounds in all the legal fees again on whatever that will be again that they have to spend whatever amount of money they'd have to spend for firing the man. It's not straightforward, and some say that's a clause on that contract, which means again I'm not sure. I'm not well acquainted with the contract. Some saying if he doesn't do well, he ends up losing his job, and the club won't be spending that much money in terms of payoff. I'm not sure if I'm to believe that. But that's, by the way, big up to you too, the New York guy, Keshawn. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, brother. And Helgi, I wanted us to talk this one. Soon we'll start talking strictly Graham Potter. Right now, let's look at this one here. It says there is a possibility that N'Golo Kante could feature against Borussia Dortmund. To me, I wouldn't be in a rush to bring him in, but maybe the game is so important that they want to do whatever they can to see that we make it to the round of quarterfinals round. Your thoughts? What do you think?
No, I wouldn't rush him back either. Despite the importance of the game and the current dynamics, it would be an extra weight over his shoulders, and we know how long he was out, for how long he was out, and how delicate the surgery was. He hasn't played since the second game week of the season, and
Mm-hmm.
struggled with physical problems week in literally every year actually for since 2018 or 19. So it would actually be quite risky getting him back, despite the magnitude of the game. I don't know what would happen, but it's there is a high potential of it backfiring. So yeah, I wouldn't rush him back either.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sort of sense. It would be a huge risk. Again, I don't know. Again, there's quite a lot of quite a lot of stuff out there. But let's look at a few that we can look at right now. Again, this one is taking time. Let me. Again, Zidane is the bad out. Luis Enrique is Luis Enrique.
Sorry?
Is he again? You're not sure. Luis Enrique,
Yeah.
is he still the coach of the Spanish national team?
No. He's available. No.
Okay, if he's available, then to me he's a better
Yeah.
option of the two.
Luis
Again,
Enrique
and
is
plus
the
again, here's the
best
thing. He,
out
Enrique
of them
Enrique
from
plays
that one.
Enrique plays good football, but at the same time he's more pragmatic. You could say he's a more pragmatic version of Pep Guardiola. So I will take him anytime, any day, and he can adapt to situations. He's not stubborn, saying again sticking to one one a single approach to football. He diversified. That's one thing I like about him. I'm doing better again than the club right now. Yeah, I don't blame you for saying that. And that's really what it is. Again, my only problem with Potter is his tactics. They aren't good at all. Again, sometimes you ask the question, does he even have any? Chopping and changing first 11 constantly. And there are, again, we'll get into that again deep. We'll get deep into that in a bit to talk again every aspect of what we think is wrong and those that we think are his fault. And he doesn't speak English. LeBoff is ESPN. Okay. Let's say again, he's always with them in all the places that the team have played. But it's a pity our club has gone into wrong hands. Who exactly are you saying that he's been with us? I'm not sure. I don't
Todd
want
Boehly.
Zidane. Who? Oh,
He's
Todd Boehly.
referee.
Okay, okay. I don't want Zidane, to be honest. If he couldn't get the best out of Hazard, then what makes you think again he will get the best out of our players? Oh yeah, again, I think that's a solid argument. He had Eden Hazard and probably didn't use him that much, and I don't know why. Zidane had Galacticos. Yep, that's the argument. Like I said again, if I was in it as Zidane, I'd select players and take a nap during games, and the players will still win. The Real Madrid team under the reign of Zinedine Zidane, they were excellent. I don't want Luis Enrique. Again, I'd rather Luis Enrique than Hansi Flick, actually, because I think he's more pragmatic of those two. Those, again, the managers available. Okay, that's your thought. And big up Eugene Naughty. I hope you're doing well. Please do let me know. How Spotter not sacked yet? Good question, but one question that I cannot answer. It's not up to me. The only thing I can say is this: if they sack him today, it will be an expensive decision, and that's probably one of the reasons why it's again they haven't done so yet. Because the truth is, if you say they are wholeheartedly supporting the manager, even given where we're at, where the club is at today, I'd say you're a liar. Again, they're not happy. They just don't. Again, it's just not easy. It won't be an easy decision because it will cost them a lot. If that makes sense, because he still has his entourage. And again, those he came up with from Brighton, his backroom staff are all, again, you have to again pay some settlement. You can't just let them go like that, if that makes sense.
It would be another. They are between two fires now because
Hmm.
the situation is getting more and more radical with the passing of the weeks and games, and they have to make the decision. Actually, we don't have an indication whether there is a clause or not, but last week Matt Law said that it's a common practice for clubs to put termination clauses in long-term contracts.
So
So
probably there's one.
yeah, he didn't confirm it, but said that the reason why they are backing him doesn't have to do with the financial uh, issues that they may face. But it was a bit foggy, like didn't have a sort of confirmation. So let's see. But the thing is that that decision has to be made at one point or another, because just as you said, people are just deceiving themselves if they think that it can go on any longer in a sustainable manner. Like at best, it can be papering over the cracks, but it doesn't help anybody.
All right. Let me catch up with the chat again. Big up again, James. A surprise, a stream, any breaking news? No, it's not a surprise thing, a stream. It's a daily show now on Chelsea Perspective. It's called the Daily Roundup, where again we can sift through the news to pick out the interesting subjects regarding our Chelsea Football Club, and again present it to the people every evening. So those that were at work during the day or at school during the day, and then get the chance to again hear about those things we presented to them, if that makes sense. So big up to you too, brother. Nice to again see you here. It looks like you didn't go to work today or so. Enrique again head counter-attack football. I think you said that before. But again, I'll pay attention more to see if that's the case, really. Again, I would take anyone right now. Just get Potter out of the door. I won't take anyone really. Again, how go the blues mood? It's still lots of people emotions are still running high because until things turn around, I don't think the situation would change. But I get your question really. What is the news about Thomas Frank as part of coaches considered? I heard nothing about that again.
Yeah, there was something today actually, but there are still it hasn't gathered pace or something, but it would be a pointless thing to even consider for any level.
Mhm.
Because just briefly to comment on it, it's first of all, it would be another experimental move of any level. Like it's another mid-table manager.
Mhm.
And secondly, he just renewed his contract till 2027 with Brentford. So it means that you have another
It will be
financial
an expensive move.
extremely expensive. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
Yep. If anything, again, I'll get to that in a bit. Good evening. Good evening to you, my brother Nick. Nice to see you again. Headbutt Zizu. Yeah, exactly. I will never forget that World Cup match. Who was it against? I don't remember he did that to that Italian player.
Italy.
Yeah, again, the name of the player in question. But that's, by the way, that's, and again, that's their own fault again for putting him on a 7 year deal. Is it 7 or 5?
5.
5. I think it's 5. Yeah. Again, Luis Enrique, tiki taka, but again, more pragmatic. Again, you can say he's again a more pragmatic. What's his name? Pep Guardiola. Let's not forget that members of the board are also from Brighton.
Not everyone. You have
Wow.
Vivel
But
and
it's interesting. Even if it is just one of them, it's still interesting.
they are at Chelsea now, so they have to adapt.
Yeah,
That's
but it makes for an interesting topic, given the fact that
yeah, I
the
know,
only
but
the only person we don't have from Brighton is the tea lady right now, if that makes sense.
and Anthony Berry, yeah.
Yeah, but that's by the way again, Pochettino or some German coaches. Again,
Not
German coach. I
Pochettino,
love
not
Pochettino, and
Pochettino.
here's why. You got to give him credit again for him to have been able to achieve what he achieved at
Okay,
Tottenham
yes, yes,
again,
yes.
because Daniel Levy doesn't even spend that much, and yet
Okay.
he was able to get them to the level he got them to. Let's see what we have. Can anyone walking down Farm Road? I don't see anybody. Again, when I called Potter a weak guy, Roger disagreed with me again. But no, but again, there are some certain language you don't use because there are some languages when you use them, it comes across as I can't pronounce that word. Let me just use. You say it comes across as insulting, or it's like you're not seeing that person as a human being or something like that, or you're being disrespectful. Sorry, that's again being disrespectful, and that's why you shouldn't use weak. If you're gonna be weak, again, you could say maybe mentally weak or something like that, but again, don't leave it vague so people don't think you're insulting anybody. Again, love it. Again, good timing. Just wrapping up work. Snowing again outside. Who wants to help me? Yeah. Again, here's the thing. One thing I usually tell my friends: you don't know the size of your house until it snows, and you have to shovel snow. And I hate shoveling snow, really. But that's by the way. I wish I could help you, brother. Again, but good exercise for you anyway. In Porter, I trust. We will come back from championship next year and celebrate with
Oh,
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
I dubbed that because even with Swansea, he finished mid-table, and they had to replace him with Steve Cooper to reach playoffs twice. So if it happens, he isn't able to get us up. I can bet on that.
yeah. But this coming from Abdurrahman is really very
No,
funny. Yeah, I don't trust Enrique for long term. I don't trust Zidane either. He was successful in Madrid, but not enough experience to convince me. Yep, again, he had again the best players in the world at that time. Shaq, it's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. We need a manager that has managed world class players. Maybe
yeah,
that would do. Again, 5, my bad. Okay, yep, we all make mistakes. We're not encyclopedia. I'm a Ties FC watchman. Yeah, exactly. We're in this together, but you're not gonna escape it. God bless you, Mr. Guest Analyst. Again, Thomas Frank is a mid-table coach. We want again. His name is Helgi. We
no
want
problem.
people
No
with history or success of success. Yep, that's the truth. Klopp again has a history of burning down his team. Let me say burning them out. And
But
you can argue it all comes down to his approach.
it
Here's the thing:
happened.
he
Yeah, okay,
starts
carry on,
well.
carry on.
Yeah, Klopp starts very well, but the thing about Klopp is that after again he needs to change nearly the entire team after every 3 years or so because he burns them down. I don't know how
Yeah,
again you could say there's a pattern to it. The same thing happened at
it
Dortmund, and
mine
once
for yeah.
things start going downhill, he usually again don't again finds it difficult to turn it
And
around. You go ahead. You wanted to say
yeah,
something, healthy.
I'm confused about this because I don't really like him as much as others may. Despite everything, he has his positives, of course. He's accomplished and stuff and builds teams, but it's not a coincidence that 7 is a number that shows when his teams really burn down. So it happened in his 7th season at Mainz. It happened in his 7th season
Oh, I
at
didn't know.
Dortmund, and
Did
now
Klopp coach Mainz? I didn't know he coached Mainz.
yeah, he coached and at both Mainz and Dortmund at both Mainz and Dortmund, he was replaced by Thomas Tuchel. So he actually he got the reputation at Mainz, and then he moved to Dortmund, and in 3 of these clubs, the 7th season has been the season where he has stagnated the most, and it's not a coincidence. So I think that at Liverpool he's at the end of a natural cycle, and wouldn't be surprised if he resigns at the end of the season. But it's too unrealistic for him to come here. I don't think he would tarnish the legacy that he had there. And I agree that he may seem a monumental upgrade on what we have, but still his style sometimes promotes players that maybe can hide behind work rate if they don't have technical ability, and I don't want us to experience that because it would open problems after a certain period of time. I want a manager who is very good in terms of winning, in terms of team building, and in terms of prioritizing players that really are at a very high level of technical ability and can make decisions in an instant, like Man City players are, which are the benchmark in this regard. So and Klopp doesn't give me that impression that he will build a team that, as you said, can be self-sustainable at a certain point in the near future. It needs too much renovation, and he burns them down, as you said. So, but I'm interested in something actually, because you said you prefer Enrique over Flick, and that's where I really want us to get Flick actually, because he would be perfect for this team in
I
every
think
sense.
here's what I think. I think Enrique will be more pragmatic. That's why again, the Flick is more again. Flick is that again that I like German football. I like their approach. I like especially the approach of not making the attacking zone you could say a thing of for one man. Where I think the analogy I usually use: the Germans don't coach a team when in a way that when they get to the attacking area, they have to channel all their goal scoring opportunities through a single individual. That's one thing I like about Flick. And his attacking approach to the game, I like it, but sometimes he can be so stubborn. Doesn't do again. He's not even. You could say he's not even pragmatic to the minute level.
But
I don't know if that makes any sort of sense to you.
yeah, but it's also has to do with the high line he uses, and I think it wouldn't be a problem if we really trust the project with him and get defenders that can recover ground very quickly. Like Klopp had a similar problem to Liverpool in his first seasons,
Mm.
and when Van Dijk and Konate came, it got immediately fixed. So, and something that worries me is that when I have seen Bayern fans, they really love and miss him. And this shows a lot in terms of the connection that you have with the supporters. And I
All right.
haven't this
Yeah,
with
go ahead.
Barcelona fans and Enrique. So, but I would at this point I would get either of them. Actually, just making the difference between the two. It's just the personal opinion at the end of the day.
All right, let me catch up with the chat so we'll come and talk about strictly ground Potter. Again, I don't know if we'll have any more update there, but that's by the way. Again, the problem we have again with Todd Boehly and Cole. Again, they want a yes man manager, and they have themselves one. Jose Enrique, Zinedine Zidane, Hansi Flick, and again Pochettino, Mauricio Pochettino, not yes man. Maybe they'll stay away from those guys because what they again how the whole thing went down, you could argue that's the truth. They wanted a yes man manager again, and they have one. This is why I feel we're stuck with Graham Potter. To me, and not again, to me, I think it has to again, mainly because it will be an expensive decision to sack him today. Again, it will compound again financial situation for them. Good day to you too, Todd. Boehly again has turned Chelsea to Brighton, and now we are acting like a small club. Get Potter out and get Zidane. Well, I wish it was up to me, but it's not really. Napoli coach, I wouldn't say. Again, this is again. I'd let him do it consistently. I think
I think.
it wouldn't be different from going from a manager with from going for a manager with potential. If we go for the Napoli coach, just because of how well they're doing right now, it just doesn't make any sort of sense. And again, good luck getting a manager from a manager that's again that's coaching, working for Lorientes again, the Napoli president, and that would be the second time
No,
Chelsea would want to do that. So I can assure you, it's not even possible. Club brings again maximum from Liverpool players, and Liverpool don't have a quality like Real. So yeah, go ahead, tell him that. Meaning again, they are not yes managers. I understood that they want things their way. No, you could say mainly they want things done the right way, not about what the hierarchy thinks. Mr. Boehly, again, are you stalking Potter or is Potter stalking you? That's some hilarious question here. What comes to mind when you talk about that? I don't want to go into it. But that's, by the way, again, I missed a Chelsea, Chelsea, what? Chelsea Perspective. Okay, Chelsea Perspective, early morning show today. We didn't have one. And Mondays, we're not going to be having one Mondays anymore. I will see again. Mondays will be my day for a break after haphazard sleep all through the week. Mondays I'll be taking off again, taking the day off except for the evening shows because Mondays Chelsea don't play that much on Mondays. And I know usually sometimes every now and then we have Monday games, but it's not constant. It only happens again. It doesn't happen too many times in the season. So if you don't mind, some people say Mourinho. I like Mourinho, but again, he isn't a good option. And for me, Mourinho hasn't. He's not progressive enough. He's so stubborn. He's still stuck in the old way of doing things. He's almost outdated. Yep, again, exactly, and often has problems with young players. One of the Tuchel, Ancelotti, Flick, Enrique is better options. I think they are. One of those are better options. We're winning the Champions League after all. Yeah, you could say that. We're still in it. After all, we lost 1-3 to Napoli in the 2012 edition, and we were able to turn it around at the bridge, and we went ahead to win the competition. So never say never. So let's see what happens again. To be frank, had they given club again a 60 million deal, he'd come too. Oh yeah, he'd come without wasting time. Again, heck, anyone would. When you, Mikhail, when you go for 3 million, tell me the truth. When you, Mourinho and Tuchel are past. Wake up. You don't have to say wake up. Just again, speak your mind, and we'll understand. Mourinho is past. Tuchel isn't past. Tuchel is a modern manager. I can argue that with you till tomorrow. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he can only again. You can actually categorize him as a young manager too. He's still learning. Again, Coachella, big up again, Chelsea Blue. Nice to see you, brother. We are now Vibes FC. No structure, just vibes.
there are no
Again,
vibes actually.
that's
Even
a,
vibes. There's
and
no
Helgi
structure, no
probably
vibes.
Helgi is saying there are no vibes at all. Yeah, here's that report from. Just give me 1 second. We've talked about a few things we've talked about. Let's just go through them here. Just give me a second. We've talked about not that one here. We've talked about Thiago Silva, the concern that he could miss the Dortmund game, and we also did talk about this growing expectation around the club that the next two games could prove to be a defining period for Graham Potter. We talked about that one. That one again. This is somewhat again. It doesn't make any sort of sense. In what sense? I'm not sure. Again, also there's a possibility that N'Golo Kante could feature against Borussia Dortmund, and for me, I don't want us to rush him back. It's a risk. And then this one here, again from again he's quoting Fabrizio Romano, who says that Chelsea are still backing Graham Potter, but are expecting different results, or the situation could change in the next weeks. Yep. Again, to me, this is clearly saying turn it around or you're gone. and that is if truly that's coming from the club. Helgi, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it, because it aligns a lot with Matt Law's article,
Mhm.
with with the absence of a more specific like information, as he said, regarding the next two games. It just Fabrizio generalizing it, but the point is still the same in my eyes. So uh, at this point, hopefully that's way it's better than listening to the like unrealistic and that kind of reports that would add fuel to the fire, saying he's long term and we want to give him preseason, or excuses of excuses, and which really increase the level of anger, and rightly
Mhm.
so. So this is something more specific and more aligned with the harsh reality that we are all experiencing now. So let's see what happens. And I interpret it as you actually. It's if nothing happens in these two games, then he should common sense says that he should be sacked. But the thing is that what happens, people can make those kind of mind games with themselves and saying what we if we win against Leeds and lose against Dortmund, or what we if we draw this and lose the other, or what we if we lose against Leeds and win against Dortmund. So it's not as specific as we would have liked it to be, but it's still much better than the generic kind of pieces of information that we have been getting this week that aren't aligned at all with the reality. So yeah, let's wait and see. Actually, don't have anything else to comment on that. But it's at least it's that's optimistically saying it's better than the generic stuff that we have been, let's say, fed with.
He-
Uh,
Here's the thing. The reports are conflicting. But if you use common sense, pay attention to what's being said, I think the tone is changing gradually.
yeah, it's
The
not
tone
just
is changing again. It's changing from all positive again on his side to all negative again, and even him himself is becoming a bit too defensive, and it's referencing again things that he shouldn't be referencing that makes him look bad. But that's by the way, I'm gonna read these, catch up with what we have in the chat, and then we'll go straight to the structured questions so that you answer a few questions, and I'll see if anybody is interested in joining. Then we'll make space for them, and I appreciate you again. It's not a good thing disturbing your sleep. This one here says it's with regards to Christopher Nkunku, but again tied to Graham Potter's future. It says Chelsea owners Todd Boehly and Clearly Capital want to give a time to Graham Potter. They are aware the 6 new signings have made again the squad bloated. The owners also want to give him preseason with the addition of Christopher Nkunku in the attack. This one doesn't make any sort of sense to me, and I'm not going to waste my time on it. It's just everywhere, really. Let me get what we have in the chat. You did notice says again, Thomas Tuchel is short term, and he was again he was becoming open book household. Just at Chelsea alone, you've come to the conclusion that he's become open book to the opponents. Let's see what else do we have here again. When you look what club was doing with same players like Jota, Henderson, Matip. I am again. He's a genius. Maybe you like him. Maybe I don't like him, and I have every right to say I don't like him. Chelsea Blue says, Coach, I watched the Man U game. We need a quality coach like Tuchel back. Tuchel he's never coming back. Just forget about that one. Ten Hag is the new tactical one. I really miss him. Anybody else we get again would not be tactically good like Tuchel.
absolutely.
I don't think so. As much as I love Thomas Tuchel, there are still good tactical masterminds out there. Hi, Coach JC. Nice to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. And JC, if you want to give us your 2 cents for a minute or two, just let me know. I'll send you the link when Helgi makes way. Coach, again, deep down, I am feeling sorry for Potter. He's a human being, first of all, and that is nice to see. There are other again. That's why I'm not into name calling, and that's why I don't condone anybody not calling him his name or calling him some other name. As much as Helgi is Potter out with bold letters, you don't hear him insulting Potter or calling him names. That's the best way to go about it. I always wanted an English manager to do good, and I really thought Potter had it, but I was wrong. I thought so too. Again, I loved him as Brighton coach, and maybe he should go back then. I still love him as Brighton coach. Hey, again, CFC. CFC owners got to change their attitude. They should know better. This is a club, not a franchise. Maybe that's what they need to start doing. And Cash, more importantly, I hope you're doing well. A bit busy today again, but nothing new from CFC. I heard nothing serious. Again, but thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. More importantly, and if you're watching, guys, if you're watching, we have a membership. Again, if you want to join, I would appreciate that. It will help the channel, especially for the program that we want to start every month. The program is designed to be helping students. We do giveaway for students. They get something that will help support their education as little as possible. So if you become a member, fine. If you can afford it, It's just $2.99 per month. And what do you gain? Yes, we'll keep it interactive here, and that doesn't take away from the fact we try to get everybody's comments in the chat. But if you're a member, if you comment something again that's aligned with the current topic, or something again that triggers the intellectual mind, we will again highlight a comment, a question, or just contribution so that the panelists will analyze and talk about it, if that makes sense. So yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I says, bro, again, very depressing from the owner. You could say that. You could argue the owners themselves, they will be depressed too. They're humans. If you are being honest, just that again, it's not going to be easy for them to decide they're letting Graham Potter go. And thank you so much for 32 likes. If you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Maybe Todd Boehly and co want Potter to get his win, then get rid of him. I think here's the thing: from a business perspective, it'd be cheaper to keep him. I think there's a chance they're actually looking to replace him. I remember these guys are never going to come out to say we want him gone, if that makes sense. I mean, Roman did that for Lampard. He won the FA Cup game against Luton, then got rid of him. Again, not saying that this is happening. We're not sure. All we do is speculate. Let's speculate, if that makes sense. Again, they might be stuck with him for a while then. Yeah, that may well happen. We need someone standing on Fulham Road, reporting again a mood on street for the show. We could do that again, but it would take a while to find someone who wouldn't ask us to give him again 50% of the channel's earnings. Once Potter gets sacked, again, it's back to the Roman way going forward, I believe. In the modern world now, again, projects must have a short-term and long-term results. No
Absolutely.
one is waiting. Exactly. I get it. We want stability, and I also want stability. And I also feel like having a manager for the long term can help us establish, you could say, dominate the world of football for a while. But again, we shouldn't, because we want stability, and watch a single individual run us to the ground. Because again, we're actually, you could say, the truth is we're actually already in a relegation battle. Because since we're fighting not to get to that zone, we're already in a relegation battle, if that makes sense. JC, again, a great work, coach. Again, you are giving a voice to everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And hopefully you get a chance to be on the panel soon, because you were great. Potter appreciation lines will be pretty long. Oh, yeah. It will be longer than anything we have seen before, because they will talk about quite a lot, why they give him the long-term contract, why they thought he was the man, and they knew about, again, his you can say his pedigree even before they decided to hire him. Akintola says Potter out. Again, what about again Nico Kovac from Wolfsburg? No. Kovac wasn't in the one that coached Bayern before.
Yeah, before Flick, yeah.
No, I don't. He doesn't know what he's doing really. Potter did not know how to manage players. I don't think that's the case again. Croatian mentality. Yeah, there's more to the mentality to becoming a coach than mentality. But I get your point. I think he will be a good coach, but again, I don't think he's ready. Let him prove himself. Again, I want a stability more than anything else for my club. I wanted this for ages, rather than asking managers again, sacking managers again. I get that. Unfortunately, Potter is not the answer. Again, Kovac built a Bayern. If that's how you see it. Again, now, coach, again, we must be honest. Other than that Potter's mistakes, Boehly has the structure in place. The players are just the wrong man to lead. That's the truth. he's done well. In every other aspect, I think he's done well. No worries, DJ, you don't need to explain. Your phone probably trying to help you spell, or maybe thinking it's smarter than you. It happens to all of us. So I understand. Helgi, let me ask you this question. I know you're a super thought out man, but the question I want to ask you, um, we have too many problems. For instance, the lack of cohesive again pressing, at least that has improved a bit. Again, the fact that when you see again when our player gets a Chelsea player gets the ball, if he gets the ball on the right flank, the focus seems to be to continue on the right flank. Again, they don't look up to see somebody like Raheem Sterling in the last game on 2 or 3 occasions had acres of spaces. So had the person on the right hand side looked up, he'd find him there, and probably he'd be in behind the defense of the opponent. But it just seemed as if again nobody again they just can focus on one particular side and not look to expand again to spread the ball around. That one, who would you say that whose fault is it on that in that case?
Well, I get your point, and actually, I think it happened at the end of the first half when he got the ball and cut inside and had the shot that was punched away by Foster. But it happened only once, so there is a small thing in the whole context of problems we have, and of course, it's a coaching issue actually because it transpires a lack of communication, and not just because you mentioned and implied about the lack of switches of play, but also when we play centrally, we are extremely slow on possession. Even if we are in the first phase, the defenders have the ball, and there is absolutely no pressure. We are, totally disproportional with the right pace of the game. At some point in the first half, you could see Tottenham were clearly shaped to play on the counter and wait for us to make mistakes, progressing the ball in tight areas much better than us, who are supposed to provoke mistakes from them and to through retaining possession. So it's just a situation that I feel that the lack of cohesion in general is obvious in every phase of the game, not just when it
But here's
comes.
the thing. I can argue for him. Again, when you talk about lack of cohesion, that's very common when you have again new
No,
players in the team, and we have more than one. But in terms of again, the players not switching the ball from one side of the pitch to the other when necessary, I think you can blame him for that because it happened more than once. It happened more than 3 times. So you will see Thomas Tuchel, for instance, in such instances, if such happens, even sometimes if you pass the ball backwards, he gets off his chair and again yells at you for not doing that. So that's why that aspect of not looking up again to try to switch the ball from one side of the pitch to the other when necessary. Like Raheem Sterling, as much as I don't think he's the best player at Chelsea, made good runs in behind the defense, like
yeah,
on 3 occasions, and those on the right hand side gets the ball and are solemnly focused on playing, keeping it on the right hand side. That is one problem the
it
manager should have
also has to
solved by
do.
now, and he
Yeah,
hasn't. But go ahead.
it has to do if you see the first, because I said um, before the Tottenham game also about the defensive structure, and I said that we haven't played teams that have really put us under pressure in terms of their attacking input. So if you see the first half against Dortmund, and that's why the alarm bells really ring, because before Tottenham game, Potter said that we have to build on that Dortmund game, which for me was a very average game. Play that first half against a more half decent team than Dortmund, and you can easily finish 2-0 down. And in that game, we had many underloads in terms of the numerical advantages that Dortmund had compared to us. You have a stat that shows that Enzo has been tasked by more than every other player in his position in Premier League or something like that. Like because he has been too lost in a tactical sense. We are under constant underloads both centrally and in wide areas. So it's a case that has to do with a lack of tactical preparation more than anything. So the point you make is absolutely correct regarding the lack of switch of play. But the thing is, I'm saying that it's deeper than that, because we don't have, even when we don't have the ball, we are we get outnumbered everywhere. And in order to make those switches, you need to overload the side of the pitch in order to have the other side free, and we don't do that in any area. That's why I said that, even because you mentioned the new players, and it's a good argument, but the gelling time is now, it should have been over, because the January transfer window finished almost 1 month and 1 month earlier, actually. So our issues start in the first phase. You have Thiago Silva having the ball, Koulibaly having the ball, Badiashile having the ball, and they still struggle to make a decision with the simplest of passes. It means that there is a lack of clarity among the players. So if you don't do the basics in this sense, how can you expect them to be clear in the last 20 meters? So I don't want to traumatize or to make it more melodramatic than needed, but it's, for me, we clearly aren't doing the basics. Like, you may get the stats or data or stuff that can be a bit misleading, but the reality is that if you watch the games, you show that there is a strong disjointment between the players, both on and off the ball. So can't expect it to change when we get outnumbered everywhere, and this is a tactical issue.
Here's the thing. Again, there are a few other things that we see on the pitch that are clearly down to, again, the manager not doing his job well. You've mentioned one. Again, one you mentioned that, again, really I'm concerned about is our behavior off the ball. That has improved a bit in the last game. Our behavior off the ball, again, our pressing off the ball has been abysmal. We don't press as a unit. Like I said, I have to give him credit. Again, it has improved a bit the last time. Now, again, at least to a certain measure, again, to a certain length during the game, we pressed as a unit. But before then, it was just, you see a single individual running around like a headless chicken, especially, again, Havertz, who plays at the number 9, and then he tires out within 20 to 25 minutes into the game. That is concerning. And again, we talked about, again, the lack of players not switching the ball or passing backwards in most games when somebody is making a run, or you could say passing backwards again when we should counter the opposition's, again, attack. We don't do that. And that's something, if he repeats more than once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, then the manager isn't really paying attention, because if he's paying attention, he should recognize that that's a problem. Okay. If that is the common fan, watches a game and was able to record a part of a game and point out, look, again, Mason Mount or Kai Havertz should have passed the ball to this person, and then the next game we see such problem again, the game after we see such problem again, that comes down to the manager's incompetence, no matter how anybody argues. And like I said, I'm not saying he's a bad person, but again, being a good person is a different thing altogether. He's a Chelsea manager and should be getting the jobs done. To me, again, if you're in the chat, let us know the things you're seeing. During our play, during matches that you think are all Graham Potter's fault. I want to get your opinion. I want to get your thoughts before, again, we have about, again, let's say 30 minutes before the show runs off. Let's see what we have again. Again, here's a thought.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt, Coach, because we have an update from Fabrizio. He has specified it, actually, the time scale, saying internally the expectation is the next 2-3 games are crucial. Otherwise, Chelsea will have to go with a different solution. Chelsea want to see something different as soon as possible.
So that's why, again, I've always argued they know, again, that things aren't right. They're not blind. They're not stupid. It's just that it will be an expensive decision to say we're done with him. So it would take some, like you say, again, if he doesn't do any in the next 3 games, maybe that's when they started seeing it as abysmal or it's not good enough. But then they will make the decision. It says internally, and thank you for sharing that, DJ. Let me just share it with people here. It says internally, the expectation is that next 2-3 games, just like Helgi already again said, next 2 or 3 games are crucial. Otherwise, Chelsea will have to go with a different solution, which means a different manager. Chelsea wants to see something different as soon as possible. And from that to have come from Fabrizio Romano, I don't trust him with my life, but this is believable given the situation we found ourselves in, if that makes sense. Yeah, again, here's the thought. Here's the thought. Again, having players a long contract makes it difficult to change a team. If results go south, so what options are they left with? Again, just let the manager go. I assume the manager. Yeah, that is a good calculation right there, JC. Again, just a judge and name. Again, here's the thing. Here's one thing. Eugene, I love you, but your issue is that you think like I have to subscribe to your opinion before I'm right. No, I don't judge him by name. I followed Bayern Munich again during his tenure again, and yeah, quite well. And he didn't do well tactically. That's my opinion. In your opinion, if you think he will be a good option for us, that's fine. The vote, bigger brother, nice to see you, Coach. Loving the evening streams. Thank you so much. It will be a constant theme. Usually it should be coming up 9 p.m. UK time, but I'm still struggling a bit to get it running smoothly. But I think we're on the right track because it's done well, even better than the Blue Money Show did when it started. So thank you for finding the time to join. Again, what should be starting 11? I don't think we'll have time to go into that, but we will try our best in a bit. Again, the owners think that this is baseball where teams win, again, the World Series once a decade, and are good. Yeah, and I consider successful. That's different than football. In football, if you don't win again as constantly as possible, sponsors will be looking at you. Football in Europe is about competing for multiple trophies, again, and being competitive. Yeah. Coach, question for you and the panel. Again, which moment you realized Porter wasn't the man? Again, for me, it was against Southampton when he put Mount as a striker. I was like, Potter has lost it.
Here's the thing. Rolling the dice, yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. I started having doubts. Again, you know that period when everybody was raving about the unbeaten run, when we had, again, how many games we beat Milan and all that. I started having doubts, especially in the game against Salzburg, where we played with just 3 recognized defenders. Playing with just 3 recognized defenders was the least of my concern. It works sometimes. Again, he did it with an attacking intent, again, with a 3 at the back approach. Then after that game, we won. But if you looked at the number, they had a higher XG, and had they been clinical in front of goal, they'd mock the floor with us, really. And Kepa was the best player on the day, actually. So again, then we ended again the post-game show again, or the review show, by saying he shouldn't try that in the Premier League. He shouldn't. It's going to be suicidal. And lo and behold, the next game was against Brighton after Salzburg. He went with the same approach. Not only did he go with the 3 at the back approach, he even made it worse. Jorginho wasn't on the pitch. Hate or love Jorginho, if he was on the pitch against Brighton, under 5 minutes, he sensed the danger and he helps us slow the game a bit, and that will frustrate Brighton. Jorginho wasn't on the pitch again, and he played nearly the same 11 that played against Salzburg that did a lot of running. They did quite a lot of running because we played with only defenders. And on the day, if you find that game, whatever sports app you use, our defenders had the best rating on the day, most of them. They had a lot of good rating, not because they had a lot of work to do. And he still started them. That was when I started saying, is he even paying attention to the numbers? And then after subsequent games, we'd win a game, but again, if you look at the numbers, you get it clearly that the oppositions, they played better than us. And he still say, we did well. We deserve to win. And then I said, is he paying attention to the numbers or not? Again, so it wasn't today. Even when we were still winning, I started seeing a lot of stuff, again, that made me start questioning his abilities. And apologies, I was one of those who wanted the club to hire him, if that makes sense. Again, but that's, by the way, owners working on North American timeline to gauge again viability of Porter's lack of results. Porter is one unlucky. His son of a gun. He is indeed. Again, how much is on? I don't know how that happened, but it's not my business anyway. They decided to pay him that, so congratulations to them. Again, he's hit the managerial jackpot. Indeed, he has. Again, one comment I saw online, him saying he hasn't done anything again, he hasn't done enough for the club to give him that much time. It just sounds like the man knows if he gets fired, boom, again, he becomes richer than he was before time, because I wouldn't say he become rich, but he was rich before time. Everton fan, again, Rico, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? I know you've been on this channel before. I hope you're doing well. Again, let's say what we're having. We're allowing as many shots on goal as we used to under Frank Lampard. Again, Tuchel has shown us how to stop teams from getting near our goal. We've lost our defensive organization. Yep. And that defensive organization in question starts from the midfield. It starts from the 2 6s, again, doing their job to protect the defense. But here is the thing. We have Keats, again, inexperienced, especially when he was just, again, you could say when he was, what's his name, the Argentine international, Enzo Fernandez, as good as I think he is, he still lacks experience. He allows he allows opposition the space right outside our box, and I was concerned that Harry Kane was going to score from outside our box, but luckily he didn't. But they still got a chance to score from outside the box because our players, they play like primary school kids. They follow the ball inside the box, and then you can see oppositions taking a corner kick. There's half somebody outside the box, and nobody will be marking that individual. So it's crazy. This, when you look at them, you say, like Liam Lane would say, we don't look like a team that's properly coached. Absolutely. It just looks like, again, it just looks like the players are selected and thrown onto the pitch and say, go ahead, you do your thing. It just doesn't work. Yeah, so good observation there. Again, those guys are just stubborn up because even a toddler can see that this Paul Potter needs to leave. Again, he's way out of its depth, if we're being honest here. Helge had given, again, Tuchel a 60. Again, he says again, hey, Helge, again, had they given Tuchel 60 million contract, he might have been nicer to the others.
He's not that kind of, that he didn't have that kind of personality in the sense of, because if he was focused on the money, he could have easily resigned during the sanctions. Barcelona and Man United approached him, just had a strong connection with the club, and of course elite managers aren't yes men. I believe very strongly in this, that you either get a yes man or you get a serial winner. So there is no in between in this, and Thomas Tuchel fall into the latter category, and I don't know, it's a pity that we lost him, in my opinion, but I'll stick by that.
Yeah, Potter cannot wait to get fired so he gets the money. A lot of people see it that way. And all spots Adam, Potter, Auba, Koulibaly, Gallagher, Ziyech, Kepa, Lukaku, Kovacic, Mount, Kukurea, Bakayoko, Stalin, Aspi, Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, can get rid of them all. Maybe you have to come do that work. I don't think it'd be easy to do. Potter will always get a job. Again, if we sack him, he can go to West Ham. Again, those clubs will take him, and I hope he goes. Fabrizio Romano and his team just copy-paste on social media from real reporters who works, again, for big news companies. It's still something. At least they copy and paste. At least they're not changing it. Let's plan, again, the party results and changing, boys. I don't see anything changing. Again, as much as I've supported him, I was one of those that made quite a lot of excuses for them. I get it. Again, you see disjointed performance when you make lots of changes in terms of personnel. It happens, but we should be doing better than we're doing right now. It's as simple as that. A great update from Helgi via, again, Don Fabrizio, showing likes of, again, Simon Johnson, and again, in who's Daniel, again, how, again, reporting is done. I think Fabrizio is great. Signed, again, Spalletti, Martinez, McAllister. Yeah, again, all of them are Simon Ferguson. Yeah, practically throw away 600 million and sign new set of players. Fabrizio surely has the inside track with Boehly and Bahadi. Again, he speaks with confidence, and that shows you. Again, he gets his news from some
news about Mudryk, so of course he doesn't copy and paste.
He has serious insiders. He gets his news, again, from serious sources, not just anywhere. If they don't bring a big name as a manager, I am sure these players will listen to him. Let's see, the team white players don't listen to coach comes from a club head. You think so? Again, from board and owners. Okay. Again, if Porter wants to save his job, he needs to stop this double pivot and play, again, a midfield of three. That is, again, with a single pivot. Again, to me, I think a single six will suffice. But in that case, you need, you could say, a traditional six. You don't need again a hybrid six for that to work. If that makes sense. By the way, again, Emi Martinez, that's a coach. Okay, okay. A strong Argentine, Napoli. Again, that is okay. Okay, Napoli presence with a real coach like Spalletti. You call him a real coach just because of how the team is doing right now. Again, what moment did I realize Potter was not the man? The moment we fired Thomas Tuchel. That's an interest, and I really do like that one indeed. I have to be honest. Let's see what we have again. We lose to Leeds on Sunday. I really don't know again how he will survive. We've been saying that for the past 7 games. We will be a bottom half again, bottom half of the table, and more minus goal differences. It's ridiculous, really. How Barca finds another Xavi and Iniesta will always have same overhyped players like William, David, and Luis, Oscar. You're saying Oscar is overhyped? I'm not going to get into that argument with you. Again, fans, again, for me, especially at Stamford Bridge, won't hold back, especially towards the owners. Let's see what we have here. Again, the owners are cooking. Surely the end is blind to again to what's going on, so they will take care of it. Adube Lama, thanks for saying that. For all of you concerned about Potter after the sack, just look at David Moyes. Okay, again, Bobby. Again, we end Western Star. Okay, let's see. Fabrizio. Fabrizio started 12 years ago and now become popular. He shares news from. Yeah, it doesn't. Does it matter? News report. Even real reporters also get news from somewhere. They're not the incidents themselves, if that makes sense. I know a lot of reporters on Twitter, and most of you never heard of them. Okay, thank you. Congratulations to you. You're very popular, and you have insiders. If that makes you happy. But that's by the way. Again, we've talked about this one. Here's the one I want us to talk about. Haugi. This is. Let me see. Let me refresh it to be sure it's up to date. Chelsea first started. Just 1 second. Let me see if there's an update here. Okay, it says again, Chelsea again. It says Chelsea fans they started again. What's it called again? A petition for Graham Potter to be fired. And right now, the petition has garnered 41,700. And again, it's going up as I'm looking at it. 711 signatures. And the question is again, will he make any sort of difference? Any sort of difference? Your thoughts?
Well, I don't know how impactful it will be, but I'm in favor of that because it means that people care and are involved in something that it's unequivocally important to happen. I don't know how impactful it will be, but still it means that people care and want to give their best to change the situation. So it's not on us to say how it will impact, but it's good to see that they are moving and they are trying to do stuff, trying to make stuff happen. The fact that more than 41,000 people have signed it shows that it's how the majority of the fan base feels, and rightly so. And of course, maybe it's not the most powerful way of influencing a decision like this, but it is a way to maybe to attract more attention in the media and to increase the pressure. This time not on Potter, because for me, in Potter, I am firm in my opinion, but also towards the owners, how people feel and how they are expressing themselves in another manner. So yeah, it's just a way of contributing, of expressing yourself, and it's nothing wrong in my opinion.
Yeah, again, but I don't think he moves the needle. I don't think he moves them
Yeah,
one bit.
may
Um,
not influence the final decision the way, let's say, a mass protest may do, but it's something that at least cause. If people keep signing, then it's very likely that the media will turn their attention on it. So it may have a sort of indirect influence. Let's call it that way. So it's not nothing. It's not anything actually. It's you
All
know
right. Again, all sports fans out there say Spalletti was good at Zenit and at Roma too, coach. Again, I'd even take again Mourinho or even Sam Allardyce. Sam Allardyce at least will keep us up. He won't again. He's again a master of keeping teams up and not allowing teams go get relegated. I watched again YTF after again he visited Chelsea training before the Everton game. He did not speak out before the match, but he had again declared that Potter cannot take the team anywhere. He said he said again their training was watched. Let me see quickly again. Just seems like a waste of time. Potter wouldn't be sacked. I don't think so. Again, yeah. Again, if he's going to be sacked, it wouldn't be because of the petition. I don't think so. Really, again, we can get rid of existing players in the summer if we start again the process now. Graham Potter doesn't give a damn. He just wants the mega payoff. All this mental health stuff again is a smokescreen. At least that's how you see it. Was a shambles that Potter just look at a time and not taking charge with instructions. He doesn't. Again, that infuriates me. He's hit the jackpot and he knows it. Yep. Again, pensioner Potter. Wow, that's that's a new one. Preach. Let's see what we have again in last 12 years. Fabrizio finds how many times I don't like it when you repeat something you've already said. But that's by the way. How he just quickly again anything else you can think of that's Potter's fault. That's the reason why we're struggling.
Well, I don't know actually, but the thing I can say is that I was against the appointment in the first place, so I expected us to struggle a lot and to deeply regret the decision of sacking Thomas Tuchel. The thing is that at the time, I remember talking with people, not on Twitter, but here,
Mm-hmm.
and I said that we will finish seventh. So it's much worse that I revised it at the time, and I was deeply pessimistic. So it means that we are, worse than worse. And the thing is that yeah, it was too big of a job, too big of a jump for him. And what I say and what I have been trying to tell people is that two things, and that have turned out to be correct. First of all, I really defend the idea that football works in habitats. So it hardly ever applies the idea of calling managers radically good or radically bad. Like you have David Moyes being a good manager at West Ham, at Everton, but being, let's say, a bad manager at Man United, at Sociedad, or at Sunderland. So it works in habitats. And and secondly, before the transfer window, people were saying that, okay, we'll refresh the team, we'll sign in January, we'll do this, we'll do that, there will be much water flowing, and there will be changes in the personnel. But I have watched football long enough to understand that no matter no kind of personnel, despite how good it may be, can make up for tactical deficiencies or lack of identity in general. And that's what has been happening. So there have been 5 or 6 games since the January transfer window, and instead of, it's not only haven't we shown signs of improvement, but we have actually regressed, even though with the signings, and we have those kind of excuses that the squad is bloated and he has more than 30 players and this and that, which don't make any sense in a top club. So things have gone beyond any let's say point of believing and trusting anything. And as you mentioned earlier in the show, it's not about trusting something with your full dedication anymore. It's just a case of trying maybe your ego to flourish and to try to, or also the financial implications. We don't know clearly about that, but let's see. So for me, it was a wrong move from the very beginning, and it would be the best way, not just for us but for both parties, to part ways. And that's why I would have liked it to be before the Champions League game, because we would have something to play for. But let's see.
And here, DJ says this is not on Porter. The owners hired him. so they can fire him if they want a straight solution. Yeah, again, but it's on him somewhat. Again, some people expect him to walk away. I don't expect him. I don't see him walking away without be stupid. He walks away with practically nothing, and he took the opportunity to walk. That's where again, that's where it comes in. You blame him. He took the opportunity to work for a big club. We cannot blame him entirely. Maybe if you can allow me to remix your comment, TJ, I'll add in. We cannot blame him entirely for that. Unfortunately, it has not worked out. As simple as that. Again, he has to. We have to let him go. And I don't see signs that it's going to work out. If anything, it has gotten worse. If anything, it's starting to seem as if the players don't trust him anymore. And I'm going to say something that I've said here a billion times. Again, if you've been in a leadership role, whether you yourself, or if you're paying attention to how leadership works, if you're leading a crop of people or players or whatever, whoever you lead, if they're not seeing results, if you've let them for a while, they're not seeing results, they will stop trusting you. Something needs to change before you see those again that are being led again to respond accordingly. If they're not seeing results, they start responding because to them you don't know what you're doing. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. I had my doubts about Potter from day one, based on experience from Lampard and AVB. Chelsea is not the place of a small-minded people. Again, you need to be a serial winner to coach Chelsea. And I think after Potter, again, the owners, I know they again, maybe their plan is to get a coach given the job for a long time. I think that mentality will change. I think they will learn to give managers a short-term contract from now on, so that if it doesn't work out, it'd be easy for them to say again, just find your way and we find our way. And if you're in the chat, I want to know from you. We still have again about 7 minutes before we round up. I want to know from you if you can again things you think again that's happening. Again, things you see during games that we haven't played well that you think again are down to the team not being coached properly. I want to get your thoughts while I read this. It'd be interesting to see what you come up with. Again, as CFC goes out of Champions League, the season will be over. The fans' protests will cool down. After this sinks in, the board will ride a storm and stick with Potter for near future unless we join a relegation battle. Now you're getting me concerned even more. Helgi, did you see that?
Yeah,
did you see that comment on the screen? Jesse, I thought you're my friend. Why are you doing this to me? And it sounds reasonable. It sounds like what they would do. What do you think?
It's too tragic, even if you think about it, let alone if you visualize it into practice. So it's why should it happen? Actually, there is no sense. And why should the fan protests cool down? Yeah, I don't get the dynamics of the comment. So how it is the worst possible scenario in my eyes, and I don't see why fan protests should cool down. Actually, I see the opposite. If it happens and he's still here, then there is more reason for them to ignite the protest and to make the situation even more heated.
Yeah, this comment again, it's really scaring the heck out of me. Really, it makes sense. Again, it's deep. It's again like his last comment, Jesse's last comment here says it's human nature, and that's the truth. Once again, if you're in a bad situation, once again you cross that line from a bad situation to again to things becoming normal. We have a very short-term memory. Boom, we forget about again what we went
through. It won't become normal. That's the thing. It will get only worse if you persist on something broken.
Wow. Again, that's some comment right there. Again, if you're in the chat, let me know if you can think of anything you've observed during our games that you think is down to lack of, again, the manager not doing his job properly. Again, one, I've talked about our behavior off the ball is very dangerous. It scares the heck out of me. Our behavior off the ball simply shows any team can beat us because we don't press as a team. We hardly get the ball off of the opponents, really. Again, and I have to say, I have to give him a bit of credit because that improved a little bit during the last game. Our behavior off the ball, plus again, you can see It just seemed as if again, 15 minutes team, 15, 20, 25 minutes were done. For the rest of the game, you see lots of confusion on the pitch. And plus, whenever we concede first, you see the players. Again, you see the players starting to sulk, or again, it's starting to do again too much. Just again, there's no. You said the lack of cohesion becomes worse, and you're not seeing any sort of motivation from the manager. The manager, again, you earn your money by, even if your team concedes first, you find a way to get back into the team. But in this case, we're seeing a situation where we concede a goal and it's bringing in a defensive player. Really, it just doesn't make any sort of sense. We've seen situations where he reacts again. The whole play, you that is watching the game on your TV will see that something isn't working out, and it takes the manager like the 70th, 80th, and 90th minute to realize that he should make a change. And when he makes the changes, he makes the wrong changes. What is, you could say the only thing that we shouldn't be blaming Potter for, two things may be the lack of again proper cohesion, because we have lots of new players. And then the other thing, players missing chances because he can't help them to kick it into the net. But every other problem we're witnessing is down to his again competence, really. If we're being honest here, I've tried my best to say he will come good, or maybe he will learn on the job, but it doesn't look like he's learning. He keeps repeating the same mistakes over and over again. It just doesn't make any sort of sense to me, and it's infuriating, really. Again, what do we have here? Again, I've read that one. You didn't notice again the news about threatening can also be again destruction news. They are American. Yeah, I wouldn't go to that extent. Again, I just take it on a face value because he's a human being. Potter is a human being after all, and that's why I'm not into him. Again, name calling, even though I'm so pissed right now. Amadi, we need a coach like again Marcelo Bielsa. Nope, no. He's so stubborn again, and he's so predictable. You know what his teams are going to do. We will again. It's unfair. Unfair to Moyes again by comparing him to Potter. He did finish again in the top four with Everton. Okay, again, we play only one good again in all the last year again against Real Madrid at Bernabeu. I will never forget that game. If only Thomas Tuchel was a bit pragmatic, make some changes when we were 3 goals up or so. I don't remember everything. Just make some defensive changes. That will be okay for me. But he's the German. They hardly do that. I'm just being again pragmatic. Yeah, I understand your point again, and it's truthful. As much as again it's concerning, it is truthful. Let's see what we have here again. Appreciate Potter again. Apparently Potter has won. Has won what? I want to know again. Human nature. Yep. Again, it's human nature. What you just said. So it's concerning really. Apparently Potter has 2-3 games to turn things around, or he's gone. I think here's the thing. What after that 3 games and things go back to normal, and the 2-3 games again, it's going to be even more difficult because the truth remains. If you look at the man, the pressure is getting to him. No matter how the pressure is getting to him, and it's not. It doesn't look like he's dealing with it well. If that makes sense. Again, there is a frustration. No physical. Protest. Is that what you're saying? Protest session? I haven't seen that word before. The protests again haven't started yet, but we know they are again being planned. Oh yeah, you can be rest assured. Again, there are no turning. Again, there's no turning this a train wreck in slow motion. It has to be a swift turn. It has to be like a swift U-turn for it to be fixed. If you try to do it in slow motion, we'll all end up where again we'll regret for the rest of our lives, and I don't want to see that happen. Fabrizio Romano says the only way again he only has a few games. And that's the truth. That shows you probably that's the chance he may not again see all those games. People choose to believe reports. We don't know if players don't believe in him. I'm not saying again. That's just again. Listen, my opinion. That's what I'm speculating. I wouldn't say believe. Trust is the word I use because belief is a different thing. Trust in the sense again it hasn't happened, and probably he gives some instruction before games, and they do exactly what he's told them to do. And end up again getting bad results. At one point, they start questioning again the instructions he's given them as a manager. Regardless of our situation, we're not getting relegated. I am sure DJ, I am not sure. I'm concerned. So we can get some wins, but at least you're concerned that we may well again get in a relegation fight. JC is missing the physical process outside again the ground. He's again a projection that will lead to different results. Again, a New York guy. I know what you're doing. Yeah, I know. Again, I finally made it, Choma, but we're about to round off in a bit. My wife has refused to be the one to go pick up my boy, so I may well end it soon. But let's see what happens. Again, Choma, how are you? More importantly, I hope you're doing well. It's a daily show, and I think again, if you're at work or at school and did not have the time to pay attention to what's going on about Chelsea Football Club, just don't miss the daily roundup show. There you will be again. We will provide you, furnish you with everything that has happened while you were away. Yes, again, most games we weren't coached improperly. Again, we weren't coached properly. Systems are bad. Team selection, substitutions are bad. Again, a confused person. A squad too big. Still hasn't addressed some issues like a striker, or poor from again top to down. You could argue that. And what are they doing with Aubameyang? If you treat him the way you're treating him, you bring him on, do you think he'll be at his best? I don't think so. I hope, again, all had a great day. I hope you had a great day too, Chama. Nice to see you. I don't know, maybe if I should put the time into after, again, I'm done with school runs. After, again, I bring my son home so that I will not be in a rush to end it. Again, with Ruben Amorim as coach, again, I haven't followed him. I don't know him that well. Big up. I am late as usual. I've been enjoying the cocktails. I think you're better off doing that. Again, you don't want to get into the Potter in or Potter out argument. But big up to you again, Glenn. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you becoming a member. That goes a long way for the channel. Judging by how again persistent a CFC board were while trying to sign Enzo. Gentlemen, again, a board definitely is very, very stubborn, persistent until the last minute. Don't keep scaring me here until what happens, really. I'm going to keep, again, a few, and thank you so much for all the great contributions in the chat. After the UEFA Champions League season, overachieving again, I'm not sure, again, it's a mix-up there. Matia, we want coach like Thomas Frank, from Brentford. I don't know. If they want him, that's the business partner. Like Southgate, maybe same. Yep. Again, I agree with you. Saying hello to people. Glenn, again, how many cocktails again? Drink easy, bro. Again, don't BS. Decides again. He signs a contract, where he signs contract, and with whom he signs contract. Nothing fits again with long-term contract. Yeah, I get what you did there. Again, great time of our show. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hopefully, again, I will move the time a bit, but it takes some planning. As the show, again, as time goes on, I will find a better time for it so that we're not in a hurry to end it about 6 or 7. But I had some... They kept on buying me more drinks. I don't have a problem. Enjoy yourself, brother. Life is short. We want a coach like Ruben Amorim from Sporting Lisbon. Okay, again, good night, Blues. Again, keep the faith. Trust the process. You too, again, see you again at another day, brother. Chelsea players are slow. And then again, the Walking Dead, really. Excellent again, Glenn. Again, you had a good one. The owners will sack him because if they fail to do so, the fans would turn against them. And you hear stuff like, again, Boehly out. If it is just Boehly out, it wouldn't do anything to them. Again, only turned 34. And once again, yep, so you might as well enjoy your life. Besides, again, I will be feeling it tomorrow. Oh, yeah, the hangover. Again, Glenn, oh, my gosh. I sincerely do apologize to you, Glenn. How could I have forgotten? Again, Glenn, happy birthday to you, brother. Apologies. Again, I am so sorry. I forgot it's your birthday. I don't know. Again, I owe you an apology. So sorry about that. Again, happy birthday to you. I wish I could sing. I would have, again, tried my best to sing you a happy birthday song right now, but I just can't. I don't want to disgrace myself, but apologies to you, brother. You deserve better than me forgetting that today's your birthday. Again, happy birthday to you once more, Glenn. Forgiven, Glenn. Please do forgive me. I promise you I will never do that again. There you go, people. It's Glenn's birthday. Happy birthday to you. I hope you enjoyed yourself, brother. Again, sincere apologies. I'm going to keep repeating myself because I feel really, really, really bad right now. Yeah, there you go. It's Glenn's birthday. I was thinking that I was hoping to see the balloons from Twitter show up there. Again, cheers, bro. Cheers to you too. What do we have? Again, doing great. And again, up the blues. Gristling South. Take care. Keep the blue for another day. And thank you so much for finding the time to join. This Norton, Home and Albion. Again, I wouldn't argue the wise after. So what's the difference? So we're Brighton practically. Porter's again utterance in the press conferences is enough to justify that he's not the material for Chelsea. Every coach always says again, big square is good problem. Yep, again, big squad, so to speak. I'm sure you meant big squad, not big square. Again, for Potter, it's not. Again, that's the latest excuse. He's gone from one excuse to the other, and now he's become defensive. Actually, again, if you listen to him during his presses, hey, big up, bro. Much love to you. I hope you're doing well. Good work. Again, good luck, Chelsea. Yeah. Says again, a Manchester United fan, and you guys won. What trophy was it? The FA Cup. That was what they won, right? They beat Newcastle. So congratulations to you, and always nice to see you whenever time allows, brother. So I appreciate you finding time to join. I have to round off because I have to go pick up my son. Again, we've gone beyond the experimental level for this particular show, and I think people like it, and I think it will grow quite well. Again, we need Jose to come back and help us again rediscover our DNA. In terms of, you could say, the great. But Jose, for me, he's not progressive enough. I think we'll regret it if we do. You're done, bro. Again, it's all good. Thank you. Appreciation, much love. And thanks once again for becoming a member of the channel. That will go a long way. Happy birthday, Glenn. You see that from people now. And I have to do that tomorrow also. Again, the best caretaker would be legend Ajanteri. He will make a team. He will make the team fight for sure. And when he speaks, the dressing room will listen for sure.
Said at the beginning of the season in Instagram story actually that coaching isn't for him and he is just focused on working with youngsters. I don't know why people haven't checked it out, but he said that the experience as assistant manager at Villa is the last managerial experience he will have.
So you think he's not going to do that even for just for a short time, just to help the club? The club lost. Let me just put it that way.
When he said it very explicitly at the time, that's why I'm thinking that he really enjoys his work with youngsters. Let's see. It wouldn't make much sense, but as an interim, maybe we don't have much. We don't have many options to choose from, but still. He was very firm in what he said, and I thought he.
All right. Let me catch up while we have the chat. I'll call it a day. And Helgi, I can't thank you enough again for finding the time. Again, you started again this new show with me, and again, I know you've brought us good luck. I know the show will continue to grow. It's growing faster than the Blue Morning Show did actually. If you followed the Blue Morning Show from the time it started. Anything else again? Happy birthday. And Mikhail, I saw something from Mikhail suggesting Zola again. I take Zola and Terry combo. I think those will make a great again caretaker managers, and they will help us again at least again survive the season maybe. Mikhail, another bad shout again for caretaker managers. I think both of them they have the trusted DNA in them, and they will do well. Happy birthday, Glenn again once more. Happy birthday to you, brother. I appreciate all the love you've shown the channel. And again, I cannot thank you enough. Thanks for the stream, Coach. Again, just don't want fans, again, deciding on coaches. They can't do that. Forget about, again, the petition. I don't think it moves a needle. I don't think it will change anything. Zola and Terry could do a good job until, again, the one for the season. Again, comes, and maybe smash the like on them people and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. Again, I have to call it a day at this point. If not, I'm gonna miss out. I have to go get my son from school. We cannot make a successful pass. That's a solid argument. Again, Thiago Silva is set to miss the BVB game. I've seen that myself. Sorry for being late. You don't have to. You know, it's not an obligation. Not an obligation. You don't owe me that. So thank you for finding the time to join in the show. Coach, again, why Chelsea plays so bad? The answer is simple. The problem is Graham Potter. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the support. I'll see you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.